All right, we're in lesson number 14, evaluating equations. In this particular lesson, we're going to be spending some time working through equations. And I guess I want to spend just a little, before I get started, I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about basic equations, how we're going to work with them, and just a little bit about what they mean. So in this particular example, this is what your homework is going to look like. We have an equation, 2 equals x minus 5. And it says over here that if x equals negative 7. Don't worry about that part. You know, when you have an equation, there's two sides of the equation, and the two sides are separated by the equal sign. And so kind of the way I think of it is I think of it as a wall. And this wall separates the left side from the right side. Stuff over here cannot intermingle with stuff over here. Think of it as the boys' restroom and the girls' restroom. The guys don't go in the girls' restroom, the girls don't go in the guys' restroom. They're kept separate. And on top of that, since it's equal, that means everything over here has the same value as everything over here. Think of it this way. If this was the girls' side and the guys' side, if I gave the girls $10, then I have to give the guys $10. I have to be fair. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. And that's the way it always will be. So on this particular example, they give you an equation, 2 equals x minus 5, and they're telling you that x is equal to 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate this equation. I'm going to plug this 7 into the x. And I follow the rules that we've been working with when we've been simplifying algebraic expressions. When I plug in the 7 into the x, I use parentheses, and I put the parentheses around the 7. Anything I don't use, I carry down. Notice that my equal signs always go on the line. I never move them. So it's what keeps me lined up. 7 minus 5 then is 2. So check this out now. Notice at the bottom here, I got 2 is equal to 2. Does 2 equal 2? I mean, is 2 the same thing as 2? And the answer is yeah, 2 is 2. So the way I think of this is a true statement. 2 is equal to 2. And if it's a true statement, then this 7 has a special name. We call 7 a solution. And so another way of asking number 1 would be to say or to ask, is 7 a solution of 2 equals x minus 5? If it comes up and the left side and the right side are the same, where it's true, then we would call it a solution. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 will not be a solution, so I'm just kind of telling you ahead of time. First step, put a line through the equal sign. Next step, take this negative 8 and plug it in for the x. This negative comes down, plug the negative 8 in with parentheses. Notice I keep my equal sign right on the line. And then I'm going to simplify the left-hand side. We've been simplifying algebraic expressions for a couple weeks now. So 2 negatives in a row gives you a positive. Actually, I think I was wrong earlier. Let's try that again. 2 negatives gives you a positive. This will be 8. Carry down the 2, the equal sign, and the 10. 8 plus 2 is then 10. And I was wrong earlier. This one I thought I planned to be a no solution, but it actually is a solution. Since 10 and 10 are the same, then we would call this a true statement, and we would say that negative 8 would be a solution. So your answer is solution, because negative 8 is a solution. On this one, it's a solution as well. Let's see if I can find one that's not a solution. I think number 3 is going to be that way. First step, draw a line through my equal sign. Take the negative 1, plug in for the x. Multiply first before I subtract. So 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Then add negative 6 and negative 5. So it's negative 11. And now notice, I get down here and I have nothing else to do. And look at what happened here. Negative 11 is equal, it says negative 11 is equal to 2. Negative 11 is equal to 2. That's not true. Negative 11 and 2 are two totally different numbers. They cannot be the same. They cannot be equal. Up here, 2 equals 2. Yeah, that's correct. 2 and 2 are the same, so they're equal. Over here, 10 and 10 were the same, and they're equal. So I can say that. Down here, negative 11 and 2 are not the same. They're not equal. So this statement right here is not true, but it's false, which means that the negative 1 that I plugged into here is not a solution to this equation. So I would say no solution. All right, I got 3 more to do. Draw a line through it. Notice I have 2 x's now. So I'll plug the 3 in for both of them. So there's the negative, there's the parenthesis. This is really just negative 3. 15 and negative 3 gives me 12. I gotta sneeze. Hopefully I hit the mute button so you didn't hear that. So the question is 12, does 12 equal negative 6? And it doesn't. 12 and 6 are two totally different numbers. They're not the same, so it's a false statement. That means this is a no solution. There it is. All right, the next one, number 5. Draw a line through my equal sign. Take the negative 2, plug it in. All right, now we've been working on this type of a thing. This is kind of, remember the evil 3 or the mean 3 or the tricky 3 or whatever you want to call it. This 2 does not act on that negative, so he comes down. That 2 does act on that negative. So 2 negatives multiplied together gives me a positive. So there's the positive, and then 2 squared is 4. This is going to be just plain old negative 4. And then that gives you negative 9. All right, now check this out. Does negative 9 equal 9? No, those are two different numbers. So this statement is not true. It's false. And then this statement up here, or this then would be a no solution. All right, the last one. Here it is. Draw a line through my equal sign. Negative 2 times negative 3. Carry down the 5. There's the 3. Plug the negative 3 in for the x with parentheses. Multiply first, right here. Multiply right here. So 11 equals negative 9. And that's not true. Let's see, 11 and negative 9 are two different numbers. So that's false. And then I would call this a no solution. So it's only a solution when these two numbers are the same. And that occurred right here. 10 and 10, solution. And right here, 2 and 2 was the solution. All the rest of these, negative 11 and 2, false, no solution. 6 and 12, no solution. Negative 9 and 9, no solution. And 11 and negative 9, no solution. There's lesson number 14. Good luck, and I hope this helps.